Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman, coming to you from the Capital Region International Airport, which houses our studios. We're going to stay right in the mid-Michigan area, and we're going to spend a little time right now with, our good friend Mike Witt. He's Senior Vice President of Asset Management at Cinnaire. And Mike, I want to start out by not only welcoming you to the show, but thanking you and Cinnaire at our recent forecast breakfast. You presented the Michigan Future Business Index, and I have to tell you, without you and Cinnaire, Mark McDaniel and your staff there, we don't exist. I mean, the Michigan Future Business Index doesn't happen. And so we thank you so much for that. And again, welcome to the show. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too, Chris. Appreciate it. We're really excited to be able to keep helping out with that Michigan Future Business Index. It's great. So
Well, I can tell you there's a lot of people out there appreciative because a lot of people use our data to make decisions by. And by the way, I sit on an advisory board for the Federal Reserve, and they refer to our numbers in comparing them to their beige book. In the meantime, let's talk about that breakfast, that forecast breakfast. What give us a little reiterance of what you came away with. What were some of the salient points?
yeah, I mean, I would say overall, I think people are optimistic, right? That was the biggest thing that I took away from a lot of the responses that I saw compared to the last couple of years. Is there's a lot of optimism among small business owners in Michigan. We share a lot of that here at Cinnaire too. We've seen things like everybody's over COVID, right? They're tired of talking about COVID, but a lot of optimism, and things seem to all be going in the right direction for business and people's outlook on the future of business, especially after the last 18 months or so, where it's kind of dipping down the other way.
It's kind of interesting because that enthusiasm level always surprises me, and it actually ticked up a little bit from the last survey.
Yeah.
But when you look at Cinnaire and you're representative of what's going on out there, those high interest rates and inflation, that's a very difficult current in the stream to fight.
Yeah, for sure. I would say 18 months ago when rates were ticking up every other week it seemed like. But really, I mean, they went up 6 times or whatever it was. And in our business of trying to do multifamily apartments and financing them, they're all tied to interest rates. So we had a lot of start and goes. A lot of our properties that we were working on, it was like, oh, we're going to close. Wait, the rate went up. Now I got a bigger gap to fill. I need more money. I got this. I got that. We learned a lot, I'll say. We learned a lot in 18 months of how to fix a lot of problems. But we've got a lot of good partners that we work with, a lot of good banks that we work with. In Michigan here, the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, they did a lot to help with that too. So it's we weathered it through, learned a lot, and I think it's all helped us for the better as well.
Well, one of the things that came out is they were, I guess you'd say, guardedly optimistic, because we got the feedback that they felt revenues were going to go up, but not necessarily profit. So that margin, and part of that margin problem is the inflation, and the inflation in wages in particular, because of the shortage of talent.
Yeah, for sure. We see that too. So in my work, I oversee all of the financials for our multifamily apartments in our footprint. We're in a 9-state footprint. Michigan's our biggest. And I mean, the line item for salaries is one that we watch like a hawk because it's just gone up and up and up. And I understand it, right? The work is complicated and the amount of people in the business seems to be reducing. And what does that do? It increases prices, right? I mean, so it's what I learned back in my intro to economics classes at Michigan State, right? Was all those forces gets one thing up, and that's salaries, and we've seen that across the board.
Well, and it's kind of interesting because it's almost a protective advice or device, because if you've got good people in particular, someone's trying to steal them right now.
Yep.
No doubt about it. So
yeah, we see that. I see that our properties. I see that even internally here at Cinnaire. Like we've got good staff, and one of the things that we're doing is ensuring that we're benchmarking where our pay is because it's a heck of a lot harder to go find good people than it is to keep them. But it's a constant battle, it seems like.
Well, and again, that shrinks your margin or it drives up your price in some
Right.
cases. Where,
Yep.
where is that point that we're getting to right now? But again, going back to the enthusiasm level, the one thing that we see is that if business is enthused about the future, that drives a lot of their decisions. They're more apt to add people. They're more apt to add another product line. They're more apt to do things like R&D and training their people a little more.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I saw a lot of that in the survey results too of if you look at the response on what people were going to do is it looks like investment in talent, investment in products, investment in their business overall, which I think people probably paused, I would say 6 or 12 months ago was not doing a whole lot of that, unsure of what was going to happen. And now it's like, okay, I'm ready to go back in and invest in these things. And I think people really see the benefit of talent and investing in the talent within their businesses.
Well, we can talk about this at a later date, but healthcare costs have kind of snuck back in top three again, which we haven't
Sure.
in a while. Anyway, Mike Witt, Senior Vice President, Asset Management at Cinnaire. Thanks so much for not only spending time with us today, but the delivery of and the assistance in keeping the existence of the Michigan Future Business Index alive. Thanks so much.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. We'll be right back with more.